Hello everyone, my name is Trey and this is the first video in a series of Beginning Mastercam. Today we will be covering the facing toolpath. I have my block defined 5 inches by 6 inches and it is 1 inch thick. I also have stock defined, which is represented by the red lines, the red and blue lines. Excuse me. Let's get started. We would click Toolpath, Face, we would give it a name. Let's just call it Face. At this point, you have to select geometry that you're going to use for your outer boundary for this toolpath. You have a couple of methods to choose from. One method, you can select the outside boundary of the stock manually by clicking on the stock and it would select that, or you can just click OK and it would automatically use the stock that you have defined when you set up the part. So I'm going to click OK and it's going to automatically choose the outside boundary of the stock for this facing operation. Next, we want to choose our tool. We would click Tools. I already have a face mill here, but if you did not have it here, you would select Tools, Filter, choose the face mill, and enter the size of the face mill here. Select OK, double click face mill here. It's asking me that do I want to add another one because I already have one. I'm going to go ahead and click no since I already have one. Excuse me. We're not going to worry about the speeds and feeds for this tutorial because I only want to demonstrate the actual toolpath itself. So obviously you would select the speeds and feeds according to the material that you are cutting and the type of cutter that you will be using. For the comments, we're going to go ahead and put in face. Select cut parameters. Now let's go over some of the parameters here. For the style of cut, we have one way. Basically, it only cuts in one direction. Once it gets to the end of that pass, it retracts, relocates for the next pass based on the amount of step over that you choose. Our step over is 75% right now for this operation. We have zigzag, which will cut in both directions. So it will make one pass. At the end of the pass, there is no retract. It would move over by the specified amount of step over and continue doing this until it reaches the end of the toolpath. You have one pass, which will face the part in one pass. Obviously, your tool has to be larger than the size of your part for this to work. Then we have dynamic, which basically will spiral from the outside in by the specified amount of step over. For this demonstration, we're going to choose one way. Now the across step over or the cross overlap is the amount of overlap you want the tool to overlap the part in the step over direction. The along overlap is the amount you wish the tool to overlap the part in the cutting direction or the direction of cut. The approach distance is the amount you want the tool to approach the part. And the exit distance is the amount you wish the tool to exit the part at the end of the tool path. We're going to leave this. Okay, the step over is the amount you wish the tool to step over for each pass. We're going to leave it at 75%. Angle is the cutting angle you wish to cut. So obviously 0 is going to cut from left to right. 180 would cut from right to left. And also you can choose any toolpath, any angle you wish to choose. stock to leave on floors is the amount of stock you want to leave on the face of the part. For this demonstration, we want to leave 0. We'll go to the linking parameters. We'll leave them as is. The retract is the amount you want the tool to retract at the end of the pass. The feed plane is where you wish the tool to start to feed into the part or into the tool path. So it will wrap it down from 250 to 200, and then it would go into a feed move. Top of stock is where the top of the stock is, not the part itself, but the actual top of the stock, and it is 100 thousandths above our 0, which is the face of the part. And the depth that we want to cut is 0, which is the face of the part. We'll leave everything else as is. We'll click OK, and we'll check out this tool path. Tool path, and as you can see, it's going to face, wrap it down, face. It's going to get to the end. It's going to wrap it up, relocate by the specified amount of step over, wrap it down, feed across, and at the end, it's going to reverse directions. And cut the opposite direction on the last pass. That last pass, reverse direction, is in the cut parameters, and I forgot to go over this little thing right here. If you this tells it to cut the last pass in the reverse direction. If you don't select that, it's going to cut the last pass in the same direction, as you can see. Now, with that selected, the last pass is going to reverse directions, as you saw earlier. There you go. Now, we do have 100,000 material or 100,000 stock on this on the face of this part. So to get a better surface finish, or to better allow the tool to work without struggling through the part, we can choose depth of cut, and we can specify the amount we want the tool to step down. Let's just leave it at, let's put it at 50 for right now, for the max rough step. Basically, that's the amount of step down you want to take in Z for each pass. And we'll leave a finish pass, one finish pass, and we'll do the finish pass at 10 thousandths. So since the max, we have 100 thousandths material or stock on the face of the part, we're telling it to step down 50 thousandths per pass. One pass for finish cut at 10 thousandths. So what's going to happen is it's going to take one pass at 50, which will leave 50 thousandths left. Then it's going to take another pass at 40, because we're telling it to leave 10 thousandths to finish. And then it's going to take that finish pass at 10 thousandths. Let's take a look at that. This is the first pass at leaving 50 thousandths. This is the second pass. It's leaving 10 thousandths. And this is the last pass, cutting the 10 thousandths, leaving 0 on the face. Now, let's take a look at some more of the parameters. Let's now change the step over amount to a smaller amount, or a larger amount. Let's go larger. 100% of the tool, which is going to be 200 thousandths. It should take less passes to finish the part, just so you can get an idea of what the max step over does. It's going to take bigger step overs. There you have it. Now let's go in the opposite direction and take smaller step overs so you can get more of an idea of the control you have as far as the amount of material you want to remove. Now let's go 25%. It's going to take more step overs to finish the part now. See, it's taking smaller step overs. Now let's go change this back to 75%. Let's take a look at the auto angle, and you'll see if we put it to 180, it's going to cut in the opposite direction. And again, you can choose any angle you wish. You see, it starts in the opposite direction. All right. Let's try it at 90 and see what that looks like. So again, you can choose any angle you wish. See, it 90 cuts from bottom to top, and 270 would cut from top to bottom. 45 would go across at an angle. Let's go at 45 and see what it looks like. Across at an angle. So you can choose any angle that best suits your purpose. We'll set this back to 0. Let's take a look at the styles. We'll go to zigzag, and you'll see that zigzag is going to cut in both directions. There will be no rapid up, no retract up. We're just going to get to the end, and it's going to change direction and go back the other way. All right. Now let's take a look at. We can't take a look at one pass because Mastercam won't let that happen because the part is bigger than the tool. So it's gonna give you an error, and we'll go through it and we'll see it. You'll see that it's gonna give us an error because our part is bigger than our tool. Right, and there is the error right there. So in order to use the one pass, your tool has to be wider than your part. All right, let's go dynamic, and what dynamic is going to do is going to spiral from the outside in by the specified amount of step over, which is 75% of the tool. There we go. It's still going to use our step downs of 50% to rough out and 10,000ths to finish. There you have it, and that concludes our tutorial for today for Beginnig Mastercam facing Toolpath. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.